Hey, what is up, guys? Flex Media here, bringing you yet another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and it is everyone's favorite time of the year, of the month, whatever you want to say. It is time for the World Tournament for Global Dokkan. Now, you're going to be seeing a lot of teams that look exactly like this. You know, on a side note, you know, it's really funny. It's like the World Tournament so desperately and just direly needs a revamp. And then it's like, yeah, let's easy A some free-to-play characters. Yeah, let's revamp some story events. Yeah. And then it's like the World Tournament is just like sitting there. And it's just like the elephant in the room. And it's just like, oh, great, you gave us another unit for it. You know, stupendous. You gave us LR Krillin, who is tailor-made for the World Tournament. So, like, I love this unit for sure. But it's like, dude, like, you give us another World Tournament unit, and you just refuse to revamp it for some reason. I've given several different ideas. Go ahead and check back on, there's a video I did, I don't know, during the last World Tournament, talking about my idea to revamp it. Now, that is, again, it's probably a story for another video, but what I want to talk about today is there are going to be a few different teams that you can use for the World Tournament. This is going to be the most common one that you're going to see. So you've got Fizz Broly as your leader. This is the guy, right? Fizz Broly is the guy. He's going to lead the full power category, and this is going to afford you the opportunity to bring LR Krillin along, because LR Krillin only has his two sorry categories, Earthlings, which is, you know, horrendous, and then full power, which is good, you know, particularly with Omega Shenron. And also Omega Shenron would be a decent choice to bring, to be honest. So, and then you've got Tien and Chaozu, or I'm sorry, not Tien and Chaozu, Jocko and Chaozu. So our boy Tech Jocko, if you guys are unfamiliar with what these guys do, it says may stun all enemies. They guarantee stun all enemies, at least for their first time around, and it's the same thing with this Chaozu, this Int Chaozu. So that's why you're going to see so many of these. Now, here's the thing. This team is definitely going to save you on a ton of items. However, if you have the items to spare, for instance, this item in particular, this Ghost Usher, if you have a zillion, let's just say you've got like over 1,000 or something like that, and you have some that you're willing to spare, I think it would be a very, very good idea to maybe bring a different team along, believe it or not. So what's going to happen is if you bring, not that team either, where is it? This team here. So this team is going to increase your team cost, and what that inherently means is that you get more points per run, which would mean you would have to do less runs, which means less grinding, which just is better for, you know, everyone, right? Better for your mental health, better for your, you know, your Dokkan device battery. It's just better for everyone, right? So doing less runs is going to be better. I think I'm going to try out both methods just to see if it's worth it. Because I do have, you know, not that I have 1,000 Ghost Ushers, but I've got over 200. I think I can spare a few. The only problem is what you run into is, you know, when you're running this full power team, is there's not any opportunity. So if you're getting attacked in the first slot, guaranteed, you either have to do one of two things. You have to use 2 King Yemas, which is essentially going to, you know, bring everything back down to 0. You can also bring Baba as well. She reduces normal attacks, super attacks to normal attacks. So at the very least, you can use Baba, and then you can use a King Yema, and you should be good to go. But again, if you're getting attacked in that first slot, and you don't have Jocko or Chaozu on your team, you guaranteed have to use either 2 King Yemas or a Ghost Usher, because you cannot get hit. If you're getting hit in the World Tournament, or at least getting hit for like a lot of damage, you're doing it wrong, right? And it happens every now and then. You know, we all die in the World Tournament. It certainly happened. You know, it will happen again. You know, I know it will. So, but this is an interesting combo, you know, and then of course you've got STR Cell in addition to this team. So actually his 11 key super is an AoE, and he is of course on the full power team. And then this guy is just going to be an absolute defensive monster. He's going to get, he gets attack and defense per enemy on the field. So like if we look at his passive, so even before he transforms, so he's getting an additional key 1 and attack 20% per existing enemy. So he's going to be, you know, actually very, very good. You know, now keep in mind all of these guys, you know, you're going to notice that STR Broly is our friend leader. Now, remember in the World Tournament, you don't get anything additional from the friend lead, so that's why most people bring LR Broly. But you could also bring, let's see if we can find one. I don't know. We'll see if we can. You can definitely bring, if we can find them, and there they are. Vegeta and Nappa. Nappa, so before they exchange, he does colossal damage to all enemies, so he is an AoE. So you can definitely bring them along as a friend if you can find any. Your boy was not lucky enough to pull them. Can you run a full Diabolical Fiends, or I'm sorry, Inhuman Deeds team? I would wager you could, but I'd probably just rock the full power team. That's probably the way to go. But if you want to find them as a friend and then use them, you know, be my guest. That's going to be a solid choice for you. So let's go ahead and hop back. I just, you know, picked any random event, right? So let's find our boy STR Broly. Now, this cooler we'll get back to. Actually, matter of fact, let's just look at him now. So now, if I had STR Cooler, this would be a very, very good team to run in Transformation Boost. I would definitely not, under any circumstance, recommend running Transforming Boo, the Super Boo. He's just not good. I'm sorry. He's 80% attack and defense. It's like, wow, sick, man. You know, that's all he does. And then he, you know, evolves and he gets a little tiny bit better. But even in his best form, he's still, you know, maybe just a little bit above average. I mean, there are banner units who, you know, wipe the floor with STR Boo. So I would not recommend bringing STR Boo for sure. But this is a Transformation Boost team that you can definitely bring. You have an AoE unit, and he is a free-to-play unit, by the way, in Frieza second form. And then, of course, Fizz Cell, if you get his 12-key super. He is also an AoE unit, and he heals you, so that's obviously quite solid. And then, of course, our boy Fizz Broly. Now, again, these are essentially the teams that you can run. You might see some other ones, like, for some reason, people like to bring, like, Siblings Bond and, like, some other, like, Pure Saiyans, Goku's family. They don't get it. Like, they're clearly just, like, either new to the game or it's late in the World Tournament and they just want to try some other teams. Because for those of you who grind a lot, you know that it can get very, very monotonous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drop a video when the World Tournament actually starts, probably on Saturday. I think Saturday is probably a good day for it. Remember that this drops tonight at the time of this recording. So this is going to drop tonight for us. And I'm going to go ahead and try both out. So we're going to try this team, and then we're going to try this team to see if it makes a big difference. From my experience, because I used to not know the meta, right, where you'd bring Jocko and Chaozu. And I remember having to do far, far less runs through the World Tournament. Like, to get your 30 million points, you only have to get, you know, I don't know, 30, 35 wins in a row. And then you get every single mission done, and you don't have to play it at all if you don't want to. So I think I may try that. And then, of course, one more thing I wanted to go over is your item selection. So we've been over the King Yama, or as Truth would say, King Yama. So the King Yama item and the Ghost Usher, definitely, you know, they're for emergency purposes only. You should never need them if you're running Jocko and Chaozu. And then Fruit of the Tree of Might is obviously a good choice. You're giving yourself Ki. Because you're going to notice without friend leads, sometimes it can be challenging to get 12 key super attacks, which you're going to want for STR Broly and for Fizz Krillin. So Fruit of the Tree of Might, and then I just, you know, I had over 100 of these. I figured I'd just bring along some Ragged Battle Suits. You don't have to use that. You can easily just use, like, Shu. Like, Shu gives you 3 key. I'd probably go with him. And then again, if you are out of Ghost Ushers, you can, of course, do the combo of Baba and King Yama, that legendary combo. So she's going to reduce super attacks to normals, and then you just pop 2 King Yamas, and you're good to go for that turn. So if for whatever reason you are, you know, like dangerously low on Ghost Ushers, if you're dangerously low on Ghost Ushers, just use Jocko and Chaozu, and you'll just have to grind out, you know, I don't know, 10 or 12, maybe 15 extra runs. But you should be good to go, guys. So in terms of, this is like everything you should need. One other item I suppose you could bring, I didn't mention. To get STR Broly some super attacks, you can bring this Poir item. I've definitely used this in the World Tournament before. You just have to be careful not to get too many STR orbs, because then Broly will perform an 18 key super attack. And then he won't do that AoE. He gets that guaranteed double AoE, and he's very, very strong still offensively anyway. So, but this guy is another option that you can bring. And guys, in terms of your World Tournament guide, that's basically it. So this is the team. Slap a like. Not for the World Tournament because it needs a revamp, but slap a like for your boy, right? And then, of course, consider subscribing if you are new. I love you guys. Thank you so very much for your support. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about the World Tournament, definitely drop them in the comments below. And let me know if you are grinding the World Tournament. Of course, Mecha Frieza is on his way. I would definitely recommend maybe going a little bit more ham in the 34th World Tournament, because that's where we'll get Demon King Piccolo. But I'll catch all of you in the next one. Later.